And we're live. Hi, Alex. Hello. Hi, welcome to the May 5th edition of OUYA Dev Support Office Hours. That's Alex. I'm Bob. With us today, live via satellite is Kelly Santiago.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
And then over in the Pacific Northwest, Mr. Tim Groutman.
Hey, I just realized what the fireworks were about. Of course it's Cinco de Mayo. I was still thinking of Star Wars yesterday, you know, the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, well, that was probably Cinco de Cuatro.
Yeah. Yes.
And then joining us later will be Mr. Jared Yeager. But until then, I mean, we should start off as we always do with a special segment of the show that we like to call Dirt with Doherty, where Alex shares. Oh, there's Jared. Shares an interesting tip with developers from the submission front lines.
Yeah, the one I've got today, I'll need a little help from Tim to explain, but basically it's making sure that your game does a receipt check when you load up. So basically when a gamer purchases the game, they'll go through the IAP process and get a confirmation email and everything. But if you don't check for your receipt when the game launches or after an uninstall and a reinstall, they'll be prompted to purchase your game a second time. And they won't actually be charged, but it can be very confusing, and you get a lot of customer service emails about it. It's like, I deleted this game to make room for another one, and then when I reinstalled it, I had to buy it again. And so, Tim, can you help me explain how to technically do a receipt check?
Right. All right. Well, one thing about checking for receipts is, so your game's going to start up and it's going to initialize the IAP. Just wait for IAP to in-app purchases to initialize before you check receipts. Some people like do it right away and like it'll have a null reference exception or something like that. So just wait for it to initialize, check your receipts, and then you'll get a call back with the list of receipts for your game. And then if it's in there, they obviously bought your game, you unlock it, and then cache that somewhere, and you're good to go.
Awesome. Joining us from a bunker somewhere in Los Angeles, Mr. Jared Yeager.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jared. Didn't the camera didn't switch over?
Yes.
Okay, so we would now shift to a segment of the show where Tim can edify us on the development process.
Okay, sure.
Issue in a segment we're tentatively entitling Technical Tips with Tim.
All right, a new segment. All right, how about I'll just show you how to make a new game in MonoGame real quick, and then push that to the OUYA, and I'll show you how that process works.
No big deal.
So to do that, I suppose I should share my screen. So let's see if I can do that. Screen share, here we go. That one. All right, now if this works, you should see like Visual Studio or something. So hopefully you see that. Can I get comfort? Do you see anything? Nothing?
I see your window of Bob and of the GChat, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
The
All
Hangout.
right, we'll try this again. Hang on. All right. We'll either see a calendar or something else. All right. And now, what do you see?
Now I see it.
All right. So this is assuming that you've installed Xamarin and the MonoGame templates. You can get a I could say that for another video, but you can use the Xamarin eval for business, and the MonoGame templates are also available in our documentation. Anyways, they install templates for Visual Studio, and if you've done XNA stuff before, MonoGame mirrors the XNA API. So it makes it really easy to take your XNA game and port it over to MonoDevelop and put it on Android and OUYA. So, given that you've got all the prerequisites installed, it's as easy as doing any other Visual Studio project. So you just do File, New Project, and when you install MonoGame, I'm in the Visual C# area, and there's a MonoGame thing in the tree, and then here's all your MonoGame projects. You can do a regular Android project or a OUYA specific one, which gives you the OUYA specific things, and then there's content projects and that kind of thing. But the simplest, how do you want to get going fast, would be just pick the MonoGame OUYA project, pick where you want to have your project, and then this could be my first game as the project name, and just hit OK. And it goes and it's got those templates installed for you, and you get a game class and an activity class. And if you've done any Android stuff, everything starts with an activity. And here's all the stuff that links to your icons, your themes, your game title, the orientation, the intent filter that causes your game to show in the play section. And then in the game code, it's got some initialization code. And I'm going to comment out some things that I'll save for a later video, which are, we'll turn off the in-app purchase stuff that we talked about a minute ago for receipts. So I'm just commenting out the OUYA facade, initializing the in-app purchase, and actually checking for receipts, because I haven't done that stuff yet. I haven't gone in the developer portal. I haven't created the game. I haven't downloaded my signing key yet. And then you just hit F5, and it builds your game. And while that's going, I'll show you what my OUYA looks like right now. And I'll put Visual Studio on top of that. Here we go. So here it was building. And then in the background on my OUYA, you saw all I had to do was make a new project, hit F5. It built it, it installed it on the OUYA, and it ran it. And now my game's running on the OUYA. It says hello from MonoGame, and your game's running, and you're done. You have a game on OUYA. Ta-da! That's
Boom!
it. Boom!
That was cool. So there was some amount of pre stuff that you did there, but you said you can revisit that, I guess, at another time.
Yeah, it's part of our documentation, which is just links to install the stuff. So you just close down Visual Studio, you run some installers, and when that's done, you just open up Visual Studio, and your templates will be in there.
Cool. So then, what's next, Tim?
Another one? Another one.
Maybe you can just
Okay.
use the next bit.
Well, for the intro stuff, there's similar Visual Studio templates that we can do. Like if I close down the project. Oh, close solution. Oh, it's because I'm debugging. Hang on. Stop. So like while MonoGame's running, like the debugger's open. So if I set a breakpoint, it'll land on the code. So like I hit F9 on a piece of code, and the debugger lands right on there, and that helps you like go through your code and analyze like, is it doing the right thing? You know, because every once in a while you need to step through the debugger and find out what was happening. So it's really cool that it's connected this way. Because I've used other engines in the distant past where you didn't even have a debugger. And the fact that you can use your debugger while it's running on Android is super cool. Okay, but I can also do like Shift F5, which stops the debugger, and without touching my OUYA, it actually stopped the application on the OUYA, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's MonoGame, just like an intro. I'll close that. There's other Visual Studio templates set up for not specifically MonoGame, but there's Android templates which you get with the NVIDIA Toolkit. So it's a similar thing. Close down Visual Studio, install the NVIDIA Developer Toolkit pack, and that puts on these templates, which are doing Android-specific things, like an Android application, a OpenGL application. So that would be like a Java activity with an OpenGL surface in it. There's Java bindings, so that's kind of fun, doing JNI stuff. If you have a jar, you can wrap that jar with C# bindings so that you can write C# code, and it's talking directly with the jar. And sometimes you have shared code. You can throw that into a class library, so you have Android class library. So I'll just do the Android application one. And I've kind of got my SDK examples set up by platform. So here we go. So this is an Android one. And I'll just say Android, my first game. And let's see what we get. Okay, so this gave us some resources, which are your regular Android resources. Strings has your game strings, so they can be localized. You've got your main layout in AXML, and then drawables, for your icons, and then any assets you want to use in your game. And if I run that, so I just hit F5 and it's building, installing. And this is actually a Xamarin project. The NVIDIA one's later.
As a what project?
Xamarin, Xamarin. Oh, cool. All right, so what this one looked like is it's a game that has a button on it, and when you click it, turn on my controller here. Hello world, click me. Oh, I see. When you click on the button, it counts the number of clicks. So that's a neat little template there for starting a game that has a button. And how that button gets created is probably in this layout file. I crashed Visual Studio. That's awesome. Probably because Visual Studio and XML.
Tim, what's the difference between Xamarin and MonoGame, or how are they related?
Okay, so MonoGame is built off of Xamarin. So Xamarin kind of provides the service. So long time ago, there was the .NET runtime from Microsoft, and everybody had to use that.
Mm-hmm.
But you were linked with Microsoft, and people want to be independent from that. And so they started the Mono project, which was gomono.com. And basically, it was like an open source implementation of everything Microsoft did. And the Mono runtimes have always been behind Microsoft because they're reverse engineering everything. And so that went on for a long time. .NET's at like 4.5, version 5. And so the Mono runtimes have been at version 1, then version 2, and 3.5. I think it's all the way through 3.5 almost right now. And so there was that, and then the Android thing happened, and they got the Mono runtimes to run on Android and Linux and that kind of thing. It made it so that your Microsoft code could run on multiple platforms, because if you use the .NET runtimes, you're stuck with just Windows, and that made it possible to write Windows code and run it on Linux. Probably in the enterprise, because that's where I used it the most, way back then, for web services and so many non-specific Android things. Okay, so anyways, when it finally ran on Android, MonoGame basically uses the Mono stuff, which is built off of Xamarin. And what Xamarin did is they wrapped the Mono runtime so that it works on Android and makes a lot of the things accessible in C#. So there's that part of it, right? There's the Android SDK, which is the Java side of things, and the Java API is through like version 19, 20, 21, somewhere up there. So that's been iterating a bunch, and then there's certain functions that are available in Java, but sometimes you want to do something at a lower level, which is the C++ NDK, so the Android NDK things, and that's implemented. It's catching up the same way that Mono was following around the .NET runtimes. There's the Android SDK, which is the most up-to-date, and then there's the NDK, which is trying to catch up to everything that's available in the Java API, but in C++. And so that's version 9. And you'll be writing C++ code, and you'll want to do things that are in Java, but they're not available in C++ yet.
Hey, Tim. Real quick, we're still looking at Android My First Game.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, there's really
you weren't trying to do something else. Okay.
There's no code here that I could show.
I just want to see your face, Tim.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got some NDK things in here. Anyways, while it's catching up, if you'll be in a situation where you're writing C++ code and there's a function that's not available, and that's where the JNI stuff comes in, and the process for getting your C++ and your Java to talk together is kind of complicated, and that's goes to your original question, like what's Xamarin? Well, Xamarin has done all that stuff for you. They've exposed all that Java stuff to the C++ world and to C#, and MonoGame is built on top of that. So that's the connection.
Awesome. Well, I feel slightly smarter after asking you that. I feel super inferior, but I feel like I have some historical knowledge now.
Yeah, so there's XNA, MonoGame. I do have somewhere. Oh, I see. I've got Android and Android. Okay, these must be. So this is the Android Xamarin type things. Oh yeah, see, project for creating Xamarin.Android. So there's that, and then Android. This must be the thing that I was used to. So an Android application. So this is my first Android game. And I would expect that this is going to write Java code. Okay, here we go. So you go to make the project, and you've got to specify your package identifier. So
can you catch us up what you're doing right now, Tim?
Can you not see it?
No, I know. I just described that whole overarching process.
Okay. So on Android, every application needs a package identifier that needs to be unique. It's so that it can be updated with a later build. So that when you install your game, you don't install over somebody else's game. So I'm just going to say TV OUYA examples, Android, my first Android game. All right, and then you specify a minimum target, and I usually go with 412 because that's the OUYA version. And then you can give it a namespace. Okay, finish. That's going to create your project.
What's a minimum target?
That's the API level. So you ever hear about Android fragmentation and all that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the flavor of Android we have. So there's like Froyo and Gingerbread and Ice Cream Sandwich and Kit Kat and all those versions. And we're version 16, which it's a flavor of ice cream sandwich, I think. Okay, so I did that template, and then you'll see that it wrote some Java code for me. Awesome. And it created a manifest. So usually I start with the manifest. And you know what? I can make this bigger because I don't know how blurry it's going to be. And here's that minimum SDK version. So right now this would actually run on a Min SDK version 9 device. So you might have like a Droid X or something. I think Droid X was a Froyo device. And if you want to write a game that runs on like a super old phone, you be careful about this minimum SDK version. Because if I build it with version 16, which I'm actually going to change it to, the minimum hardware it's going to be able to run on is an OUYA or anything else faster than API 16. Code-wise, the version you specify gives you access to more things in the Android SDK. So if I make this level like version 1, I'll only have access to the API that was available in the SDK version 1. So, and when you look at that documentation, it's got those. It shows you every Java method that's there and what API level it was added in, and that kind of helps you figure out whether it's necessary or not. Okay. Anyways,
Cool.
this is the starting point for all Android applications, really, because they have an Android manifest, and this tells it what activity to start with.
Awesome.
And that's the entry point. And then you have the intent filter, and we usually add if you want it to show in the play section, you add the category for the play section, which I go back to the docs and copy and paste all the time.
Tim, is this the same section where you specify the OUYA intent as game versus app?
Yep.
Okay, because that's another, going back to the good thing. Like a lot of people will leave it as app or game, and it's the opposite thing, and so we'll sort of filter it differently in our database.
So you mean they make an app?
They make a game, but they say the intent is an app, and then it will just be filtered incorrectly when we use automated tools. So that's just a good thing to pay attention to if you want to show up in the right category.
Cool. Good tip.
Okay, I'm just digging into the docs. Here we go. One more click away. Android manifest. Here we go. All right. And copy and paste. So if you want it to be as a game, you paste the TV OUYA intent category game, and then for app, it's app. So app or game. Going to be one of them. And okay, so this is a Java type application. So it's saying my first Android game is the starting activity. And if you look in the source tree here it is, my first Android game. And here's the Java code that extends a regular activity. So every application on Android is an activity, and you extend that to get your game, and you override certain methods to do whatever you want. So everything starts with an onCreate method when it runs, and then this is your chance to run custom code to do your game thing. And in the project, it also has a resources folder, and they just have specified the game string. So you use this strings file to do localization type thing, so that you're not hard coding strings in your game logic. You always want to keep your presentation and your game logic separate. So that's that. And I can hit F5 and start debugging.
Boom.
And when it goes, it's going to launch, and it's going to find my first Android game and run it. Oh, so they've got a dialog. It's deploying and launching. And it's going to connect the debugger. And it looks like this over there. Let's see if I can show both. Okay.
So many things.
Well, anyways, right from Visual Studio, it can install it, deploy it, and run it, and stop it. It's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. All right, it failed to attach. Whatever. For the debugger, I can just hit Control F5. I don't need to debug every time. Just Control F5 and run it. Okay. There we go. And ta-da! So it ran. There's no code in here to display anything, but you can see it has my title, and it ran the game. And this kind of falls into the manifest stuff. You can set a theme to be like, this is like the standard mode, and if you do, usually the games will run in full screen mode, which would be just a blank screen. But you can do that in the, okay, so debuggable.
You gotta save something for next time, Tim.
Oh, there's so many of these, so many languages. Okay, here we go. I'll show you more stuff in a second.
We're gonna publish an entire game live.
Yeah. Okay, so in here, if you specify the theme, I'm just telling it, get rid of the title bar and just make the game full screen. So if I run that, gotta step it, run it, and cool. All right.
Cool. There's some questions coming in.
Yeah.
Question and answer. One of them is particularly relevant. It might be over here. Server issues? Question mark. Game info won't load. Also, it's good seeing you guys again. Good to see you too, Tim. You want to answer that?
Yeah.
We're currently fixing our server issues, so we should be back up in a few minutes.
Yeah. Stan responded to that with Skype, and so he's on it. You should see the server room right now. They're feverishly grinding away.
They have new hats. It's helping.
Yeah, they have team hats. Here's a good question from Phil. Are descriptions generated from the OUYA database, or do we put descriptions somewhere within the manifest?
When you're...
Hey, Alex, you gotta get closer.
Oh, sorry. Is this mic working?
Oh no, is it not?
I don't know.
Can you hear it?
When you upload your game, there's a field to enter a description for your game, and that's going to be where it's pulled from. So you have to put it in our database, and that will be pulled.
That's OUYA.tv.
Yes, yeah. And then just log in, and you can edit the description for your games, but it will have to go through a resubmission process. But if you're only changing text, you can put that in the notes to the reviewers, and they'll prioritize it. We also have a function to use the previous APK that's already passed submission, and then we know that we've set the game already, and we can expedite the process for you.
Cool. How loud? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Super quiet. Is it super quiet?
No,
no,
you're
I
fine
can
now.
yeah, I can hear you. I think it's just, did you say there's a microphone, or I think you're just coming through your laptop mic?
There's check. Is this audible?
No, I don't think that's working.
It's
Unplug it and replug it.
But I can hear you okay because you're sitting close to your computer.
How's this? Is that any better?
I think it's the
tap on the
same.
microphone.
Oh, it's just not working.
Technology. All right, and then I got my thing to work. Like in Visual Studio, like if something doesn't happen right away, just rebuild. That's the trick. Rebuild and push it.
Hello?
Yeah?
It's not working.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, that is frustrating.
Okay.
It was working last week.
Don't you have to go into the settings and that device?
Tell us
Whoa!
more closely how descriptions are generated.
You manually enter it as you upload your game to our server. This is really awkward.
Yeah. You add the description in the developer portal.
Yeah,
Devs,
devs.ouya.tv.
it's not from the manifest.
Not from the manifest. Man, I'm really bummed about this mic. It was working flawlessly before. I can't tell you how shaken up.
Did you use the gears to switch to that as an input device?
Mm-hmm.
The gears of war?
You hover the chat, you get the gears dialog, you hit the gears for settings, you pick the microphone you want to use, and then it should use that one you plugged in.
Oh,
Tim?
you brilliant,
Gears.
you brilliant angel of a man. You.
Oh, you.
Yeah, that's better.
What can Tim Groutman do, you guys?
Oh, we have a.
We have a
Yeah.
question that's being thumbs up.
What's on Darth Vader's head? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Joshua's how would I make a remote controller?
Darth Vader's head is a conquistador helmet.
Yeah. Helmets in one is better.
Yeah. Double the helmet. That's how we roll. How would I make a remote controller like what Bomb Squad did for Android and iPhone? I was thinking about having it act as the pad in the middle of the controller if they are not using the OUYA controller. From Josh. Tim?
Alright, I'm processing that question here. Having it act as a pad in the middle of the controller if they're not using...
Can we see your face?
Oh, actually I was going to show... Okay, so part of this is...
Wait.
No!
That's my blank full screen thing. Okay, I'm gonna go in Discover and I'm gonna show you this really cool thing. It was like one of the first things that went in the OUYA store. All right, so I'm gonna search for. It's called Blue something, and it's a Blue Board. There we go. Blue Board turns your phone into a remote controller, and I'm not sure if that's what you were asking, but. But you can see, like, this will display on your phone, and you can use it as a controller for OUYA games.
That is neat. I think Eric Fremling, who did Bomb Squad, built like his own version of that. So your solution is like, I guess, simpler. Like
So
Eric,
are they using, like, if you download this app, is it relying on the Wi-Fi connection or Bluetooth?
Let me check the description. So I would have to guess that your phone would show up as a Bluetooth controller if on the pairing screen, and then you just pair with it.
Yeah, I know. I thought You Don't Know Jack uses internet.
Okay, so it can work both ways, or it starts a socket server, and then your phone just connects to a URL, maybe.
Mm.
There is a setup screen there, so I'm sure if you install this, the instructions will be totally in there. If you go to settings, it'll tell you how to.
Oh, he was talking about using your phone or tablet as the touchpad instead of the OUYA controller touchpad. So if you wanted a touchpad interface.
Yeah. So you find Blueboard in Google Play, and you install that on your phone. And then, yes, you use that as a touchpad instead of the OUYA controller touchpad.
Oh, so the middle of it is also the touchpad? It's not just the buttons? It looked like just the buttons.
Well, look, he's swiping too, so
So you're
it's
swiping.
everything.
All right.
Yep, it was one of the first things in the store too.
awesome. Hopefully that helps you, Josh. If it doesn't, feel free to continue refining the question until we can solve that for you. Any tips for compiling hacks to OUYA? I've been having weird compiler errors recently I can't seem to fix with Flash Develop when compiling to Android. From Mushroomification.
Yeah, Flash Develop. That's one of the, as in Flash development, Adobe Flash type stuff, and Adobe Air. I think people that use hacks have actually got it to work. So I would ask in that part of our subforums, in the Flash Adobe Air section, and somebody in the community will have gotten that to work, and then we can talk about it in there. And yeah, that process of getting Adobe Air to work is some major voodoo. So it's.
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, well, it's like not only are you wrapping JavaScript and Swifts, but you're wrapping your ActionScript Swift in a SWIC, and then it's talking to Java and jars. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going under there.
I got a question from Twitter, if I may interject, since we're right now at the end of, I think, our list from YouTube. So if anybody else has questions, add them there. What? I can't see what you're doing.
It was your question. I wanted to show it, but it's mirrored.
Oh, okay. It is any chance of fixing the kickout issue since the last update? Xbmc is a nightmare. I've been also getting questions from my Xbmc friends about this.
So I've seen a bunch of stuff like that, like certain formats work better now, and then there might be some format that's not working. So what do they do if they have a Xbmc question? Do we have like a forum thread to ask questions, or maybe we should make one?
Well, I know we have one. We may need to refresh it. I know a lot of like the Xbmc stuff also is happening, or like conversations were happening on OUYAforum.com as well.
I think so, yeah.
James thinks so too. We did that. So HookJam was saying that he's not talking about Blueboard. He means using your phone as an extra controller for when you have more friends than OUYA controllers. Bomb Squad, you can install an app to your phone, use a controller. But you can do that with Blueboard, right?
No.
But I mean, that's Eric's.
Yeah. So he's talking about a specific application. So the game would probably have to write an app.
What?
Sorry, what?
Were you saying something, Jared?
I was saying, yeah, Bomb Squad wrote an app for that, and so did You Don't Know Jack.
Yeah, so we could hook you up with Eric. He might be able to help you out. I mean, because I think like what you're going to get into is what's your specific experience that you're going after, which you're not going to be able to answer right here, but we can certainly follow up.
You can go to ericfromling.net. I believe he blogged about his experience making Bomb Squad compatible for 8 players.
It looks like, yeah, for Eric's app, once your game's running on your OUYA, you hit search for a game on your app, and it'll just find your OUYA. So there's probably a...
What's his app called? It's the Bomb Squad.
It's just called Bomb Squad Remote. So yeah, it looks like it just, the app on your phone looks for the game, which maybe, I don't know how it would broadcast in your room via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or whatever when you're adding players to your game. Tim might know more on how it could possibly do that, but
yeah, we should totally add an example for that, so all our games can do that.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe we can get Eric to send us some example code. Get some of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hacks guy is back. So yeah, I know it's not specifically Adobe Air, but so Flash Develop is kind of like an open source project to build Flash stuff without having to go out and buy the actual Flash IDE. So instead of paying $400, you can develop with the open source Flash Develop. So that's the only connection with Adobe Air I was talking about, and the fact that there's some hardcore coding in there to make that all work. So if you're having some problems, let me know and we'll work through those. Just email me a link to your forum post. That'll be the best thing.
At OUYA.tv.
That's right. tgrotman at OUYA.tv. Oh, and there's a link to it. That was fast.
Jim says we're awesome. Thanks, man.
Oh, Phil.
Phil's saying things.
I should show him one more awesome thing before we run out of time, and that's writing C++ code on the OUYA. That's like pretty awesome.
Maybe we do that in the next.
The next one? Alright, that's a teaser for next time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next time I'll show you C++ on the OUYA. You'll have to wait till next week.
Yeah.
What's the standard for handling offline playing in regards to purchased games? Is it expected we store whether the game has been purchased to the app prefs, or is it the standard to just check every time on launch and then treat offline like it's not bought?
It's very common to store the purchase in case someone's offline. There's a few exceptions we generally let slide, which is when the game itself requires online play or access to a store, like if there's some sort of back end from the developer side. But if it's single player or local multiplayer only, generally it's best to store that the purchase has been there in case they're not online. So.
Good answer, Alex. That was solid. Mushroomification says, cool, thanks, guys. Also, thanks, Bob, for playing Drang. Looking forward to putting that up later. Oh, yes. Oh, that's awesome. Did I show you Drang yet?
No, you did.
Oh, I got it, like, Friday. I'll share it with you. That's awesome. That's who Mushroomification is. Now I know. Thanks for the time and support, guys. When I get closer to being done, I'm sure I'll have tons of dev-related questions instead of user tech ones. That's all good, man. Bring them all. What is this link? Is that the link for you, Tim?
It's the Xbmc question.
Okay. So you don't need this, or did you get it?
Yeah, I thought it was for you.
Oh, you want me to like click it or something? I'm confused. Oh, that's the forum link. Sorry. Yeah. So Tim has linked the forum link to talk about Xbmc that we can use.
Yeah. I have no idea about Xbmc, so that might be something for Greg.
Okay.
Or some other Xbmc expert.
Just randomly cold email Greg at OUYA.tv.
That's a good idea.
Hey, Matt.
What?
Do you have any cool data type news to share at all?
Nope.
Okay. Just checking. Sometimes Matt does.
Hey Bob, what game did you play?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. What games did I? Oh, so we went to the YouTube Gamer Happy Hour last Friday, and we played a significant amount of Duck Game, which is coming out on May 12th. That's a great question, Tim. So look forward to that.
13.
13. Thanks, Kelly. Going around the room. What did you play this last week?
Oh man, not too much.
Oh yeah, Alex was in the woods. He was in Yosemite.
Yeah, I went to Yosemite this weekend. So I played Climb a Mountain, which was pretty awesome.
Graphics in that game.
Yeah,
Incredible.
pretty.
Skyrim with all the mods.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost as good as Skyrim.
Matt, did you play?
How many lives did you lose?
Half a heart, probably.
One of my games professors at USC, Tracy Fullerton, when I was there, she had a Halo 2 clan, and they specifically would get into the online multiplayer arenas, but instead of engaging in combat, they would just go hiking around, because those environments are so beautiful, and that's what they would do. So they would just go and find the edge and like just go around and look at the environment, and in a lot of ways I think Journey came out of that story. It's like making a game that was mainly hiking.
That's almost like LARPing, but in the mountains.
I wonder how they didn't get shot at. On their hike. Matt, did you play anything this week?
I got to play through Portal, having somebody who's never played Portal or really knows anything about video games, like kind of like watching me go through that the first time. Not actually, she wasn't actually enjoying playing it herself, and she wasn't liking the puzzles and the mechanics, but she was really enjoying watching me go through all the puzzles and seeing the story unravel. So, and then we're starting Portal 2 to play through now.
Nice.
That's fun.
That was like the first game my sister actively attempted to play on a console.
Good times.
Yeah.
Jared Yeager.
Played Duck Game and Toto Temple at YouTube, and also some IO this weekend that came out last week.
Nice.
Good puzzle fun there. You can check out the first 10 levels for free. And also, as a reminder while I'm on the line here, that you've got 10 days left, developers, to submit to Indiecade for early submissions. This will allow you to be considered for Indiecade's E3 showcase on the show floor at E3. So get your submissions out. They accept all platforms, OUYA, PC, you name it. If you do miss that deadline, you can still submit up to around June 15th to be considered for the October Festival in Culver City in early October.
Awesome. Pausing before we ask Kelly, because Josh is asking a question. Do you know ways I can improve the graphics of games on my OUYA on the computer when I emulate with Shader 2.0? It looks better than now it looks on OUYA, but how do I improve it? Question mark. I'm looking at
Yeah,
Tim.
I mean, you got to PC shaders and mobile shaders are totally different. So you've got to write a mobile shader, and I've seen some great physically based lighting stuff come through the OUYA. So it's just how you use it.
Cool.
Bomb Squad is over Wi-Fi.
Oh, the Bomb Squad controller. There
Which
you
is
go.
probably why I can't connect, because I'm on Ethernet right now.
Should be the same network. It should
Should answer Kelly.
Oh yeah, it should just be the same network. Maybe your Ethernet is on a different office network, and you're on
Or my phone's
your
going
phone or
on.
something.
Yeah, you've got to connect
that's
to
how
the
it's
network on your phone.
Yeah,
It's going through externally. Yeah.
Kelly, what did you play this last week?
I also was Toto Temple and Duck Game and IO. I got to play some ping pong with Mess Off, Christy Nornder and Mark Essen, basically. That was cool. At the YouTube event, while people were enjoying Nidhogg, we were playing table tennis.
What was that Oculus game that you played?
Oh yeah. So that was
Just put you on the spot. Sorry.
yeah, one of the developers. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna totally blank on his last name, but Ben from Skulls of the Shogun developer, doing something totally different. He was working on this Oculus Rift experience that is a kind of a hiking experience, but in space. And so you move around these kinds of, I mean, it's somewhat abstract, so there's that code on everything. But you're sort of asteroids, and as you move around, you find these glowing orbs, and you look at them, and then they kind of move in and out, and it's really beautiful and has this cool ambient sound, which is, I mean, this is like totally my jam. I like those experiences. But on the Oculus Rift, it was just really beautiful and amazing, and especially like the first time I saw the lights like go in and out, it definitely had a very psychedelic experience about it. That is very different when you're experiencing that in a VR headset than even on a giant television screen, which is pretty cool. I was not a believer until relatively recently in Oculus Rift, and but I've been playing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
That reminds me a lot of the first time I went to see Cloudy with Meatballs with 3D glasses.
Ah, yeah, I bet. That was a good one.
And Tim Groutman. What did you
All
play?
right. I played IO, and then this other one, how do you even say it? Masanamo game?
Oh.
Where you run and collect
Matsumono.
coins and save. Yeah. I played a lot of that. I get the flying stuff and immediately crash. Like,
You guys are playing a lot of that.
You got to try the armored camel with a minigun.
Latifah.
It's weird.
Yeah, that game's fun. We have a few minutes left in case any questions come in, or else we can. Do you guys? Do we have any more relevant news to share? Jared / Kelly / Tim / Alex / Matt.
so there's a couple of games in the store, but I don't know if we can talk about them because I played those.
Talk about it.
Well, if they're on the store, then
Yeah, I'll message you and then you can say if we can talk about it.
you've been in the alpha beta channel, is what you're saying.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what it is? Okay, my
Yeah.
bad.
So I'll just say, go check out the alpha beta channel. There's some cool stuff happening there.
So is that a public alpha beta or is that a secret alpha beta?
It's just a casual alpha beta.
No, I mean, is it in production or staging?
Oh, it's production.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Tim?
Oh, okay, hold on.
It's just some people in the alpha beta channel, they're still testing, so they don't want us to necessarily like broadcast that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I played games in the alpha channel. It was awesome.
We're actually they were working on getting a new tag set up. So if you do have an alpha or beta game, you can automatically tag it to appear in that channel. Because right now, sort of got to let us know so we can tag it for you. So that should be coming soon.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're doing
cool.
it by hand.
Yep.
Homemade alpha beta.
Phil is giving us a shout out for being responsive on email, and we are fantastic, which makes us feel awesome.
It does.
Is that Phil Royer?
I can't remember.
Gotta make sure you write back Phil so he stays happy.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jared?
Is that Phil Royer?
Yeah, Pixelo, Super Pixelo.
Super Pixelo coming out May 20th.
Oh yeah, I
Jared
just
knows.
I've got a test build from him.
Nice.
Yeah. I got to play it today.
Releasing with a 40% discount. It's gonna be good times.
Josh uses mobile shaders. Tim Groutman.
I know. Mobile shaders have a different lighting and everything, so you just have to, lighting is a whole nother voodoo. You have your modeling, your texture guys, and then you have your lighting guys, and those guys do some super awesome Jedi tricks.
Cool. Well, we have 4 minutes.
We didn't do food yet.
No, this is it. Yeah, this is where we do it.
Food?
It's time. Okay, so very quickly, we will play. Oh, look, here comes Jared. So we'll save Jared for last. Maybe I'll start with Matt Bishop. Matt, what did you eat? What's your competitive food?
What did I eat? I had like a picnic sandwich thing that was like a bunch of interesting things that was thrown together and kind of like not.
So you have a basket?
Yeah.
You had a picnic basket?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like
You
one of
can't
those, like,
leave that out.
No, it was like one of those like you go pick a picnic basket from like a shop type thing, and it had like sandwiches, cookies, and champagne.
Oh, it's a pre-made basket?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
To get the basket?
No, like to the picnic.
Oh, in Golden Gate Park.
Nice,
Did a bunch
quality.
of one area in Golden Gate Park. Went to the De Young Museum, which isn't
Yeah.
eating food at all. It's just
Right.
it was a nice.
Did you go to
very nice day.
the Rose Garden?
Did actually.
That's beautiful.
You're consuming culture.
It's a beautiful place. Alex, what about you?
Oh, we had a couple fun, not quite picnics, but similar in the park, where we had a variety of sausages and pork skewers and some black bean burgers, along with a variety of cheeses and crackers, and then about more wine than you could drink ever.
Nice.
But luckily, there were like 20 of us, so we made a dent, and it was good.
This is in Yosemite.
Yeah.
Did you pack it out?
We did.
Excellent.
No, leftovers are in my fridge.
Did you puke in the woods?
Mr. Tim Groutman, what did you eat?
I found out that
Sweet.
Alfie's doesn't just deliver pizza, but you can order a sandwich for delivery. So I had a ranch sandwich from the pizza delivery guy. It was pretty good.
A ranch sandwich? What's in a ranch sandwich?
I just pictured like
Sandwich
ranch
stuff,
dressing
lettuce?
on bread.
White bread, ranch, lettuce.
Instead of mayonnaise, it's just ranch.
That's better than the cinnamon stick you had last week.
Nah, that's still pretty good.
He was literally eating sticks last week.
Yep.
What did I eat? I had, oh, can I go to you, Kelly, so I can think? I wasn't thinking.
Okay. I had a really nice dinner last week with our neighbors. So I live on rent a house that shares a lot with another house, and the other couple also. I have a 7-month-old baby, and they have a 5-month-old baby. And so we wanted to like spend one night a month like cooking for the other parents, or a nice treat. But my husband Mike loves cooking a lot and kind of went crazy and created this awesome grilled salmon meal with really the hit was this quinoa tossed with toasted almonds and dried cherries and a vinaigrette, and it was so good. But it's been really hot here, which is unusual because we don't usually have warm nights here. So we were sitting, we found this area in between our homes in the little parking lot in between them that is the extent of the range of our baby monitors. So we like pull a table out to the middle of the lot. So because we're eat like after the baby's gone down, so we like have our monitors positioned at the farthest point away from their bedrooms, so that we can eat together. It was very lovely.
Cool.
We're describing food really right now. We're just describing the context.
There's a lot of it in the experience. I had a Nerf fight this weekend, and that was
totally not you.
I had like a steak thing. I didn't come to play this week. Jared, what about you?
Well, I will offer up two things. In my heart, the best meal was having chicken wings on the beach with Bob and Kelly when Bob was down to visit after the YouTube event. But in my stomach, the best meal was brunch yesterday with some other families, which was a combination of this amazing eggs Florentine,
Here we go.
Fresh spinach, poached eggs, and an orange hollandaise sauce, country potatoes with I've never had this before, but bread pudding French toast that was like baked in like some sort of like custard coating with fresh apples, powdered sugar, and a Irish cream coffee like frappuccino. Yeah, for brunch, it was outstanding. It was like a little chocolate coffee bean on top of the whipped cream at the top. It was like the perfect like cool, hot, savory, and sweet combination to start the day off right. It was awesome, and it's out in Eagle Rock. It's actually not that far of a drive from you, Kelly.
Oh wow!
I will send you the menu.
Okay, well, find out. Yeah.
Camilo's Bistro. Yeah, good times.
Okay, I think
Yeah, let's just unplug our microphone so we can curse Jared and his delicious food.
Okay, yeah, Jared wins again.
Kelly's was very compelling.
Second place to Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it next week.
Third goes to Matt in the picnic in the park, and then maybe you're tied with Matt because you were in a park.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
And then I think I lost to you, Tim, with your ranch dressing sandwich.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start calling Jared just Chef. That's it.
Yeah, Jared.
Hey, Chef.
No.
Okay.
Mike is the chef.
Been awesome. Say goodbye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Alex.
Goodbye, Matt.
And me. And then everyone
Bye,
just make
everybody.
noises. Yeah, there's Kelly.
Bob, chicken wings with you still in my heart.
And then Mr. Tim Groutman. Make noise, Tim.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.